Hello everyone, my name is Shamika, aka Paging Eileen, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, how are you? And to all my subscribers, thank you and lovely to see you again. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with a Naturopathic Medical Student. I really feel like we need theme music every time I say that right now. This space where we answer questions that sometimes we don't know how to ask while also getting real about the naturopathic medical student experience. Now, I am a former allopathic medical student navigating the world of naturopathic medical school and currently in my second year. This episode is all about the realities of online medical school, mainly what it's like to now have your first or current medical school classes online. A lot has changed in these current times that we are in, and it's time we have a conversation about what it's really like, the pros and cons, and how to manage this new normal. So let's get started. If you're like me, you're experiencing the new normal of having your classes online. This has become a topic of discussion not only for me, but for a lot of my classmates about how to deal with this new space that we're in. And also, when it comes to new students, what is it actually like being online when you're a new naturopathic medical student? One of the first questions I always get asked is, what is it like going to medical school online? And the follow up question is usually, do you have any recommendations or tips to help me get through it? Let's tackle the first question. What is it like going to naturopathic medical school online? First and foremost, we have to talk about FOMO, or the fear of missing out. There's a misconception that because you're online, you don't get the full experience of being a medical student. And that idea is half true. Yes, you are no longer physically in the classroom surrounded by your peers. You do not get to bond with the person next to you or interact with other students in the cafe. Nor do you get to experience the cadaver lab or hands-on modality training and practicals. So in an effort to keep it real, here are some of the things that you may experience during your classes or throughout your time with med school online. You see how that rhymed? I tell you, I am not doing this on purpose. Anxiety, eye strain, fatigue, and that is physical and mental. You'll have loss of focus, feelings of being distracted. This could be from your mind wandering or even checking your phone and social media in general. You'll also have a lack of desire. And you'll also have to come to grips with the fact that you will be sitting more than usual. However, in my opinion, there are some benefits to being online, and here are my top three. Number one, you have the opportunity to figure things out. There is an added level of stress when you're sitting in a classroom looking at the people around you and you start to judge your performance and actions against your peers. This stress can be a distraction, which can prevent you from figuring out how to manage medical school. By being online, you have the opportunity to harness your self doubt, your fear, and worry because now you're able to deal with yourself in the sense of figuring out how, what, and when to study, while also answering the question of, what is my routine? I would also suggest you seek out a mentor who is an upperclassman or even communicate with current students via social media. By the way, here is my Instagram and Facebook handle if you would like to connect so that you can get some of your questions and concerns answered. Number two, you gain the opportunity to comprehend the information without the peer pressure or comparing yourself to others. There is a need to compete in medical school, whether it's self-imposed or environmental. And with that comes the added pressure to perform against your peers. And you know this to be true because you know the feeling when you're sitting in class and you're looking at the person next to you and you question whether your notes are adequate, if you should be taking said notes and why you are not taking notes when the person next to you is writing up a storm. And number 3, you have an opportunity to fine tune your schedule and drown out a lot of the noise. There will be times where you will feel distracted. However, you have the opportunity to create a schedule that works for you and that is not influenced by your peers. And you know what I'm talking about. When another classmate does well on an exam and you didn't, you start to question your process. Rightfully so, you should. However, you ask them what they did to get that score, and then you mimic their process, which gives you a 50-50 chance of having success. So, having the opportunity and the space to develop your own routine and study modality is gold for students. Now, there is one caveat in my opinion, and that is with this new environment, you will have to be more proactive when it comes to socializing and getting to know your classmates. So this may require you to step out of your comfort zone and actually introduce yourself, being more proactive in group chats while also developing virtual study groups. I also want to mention that by being online, you're not able to interact with as many upperclassmen as you would in residence. So this means you have to get creative. My tip for you is that during orientation, get to know the upperclassmen because all of those individuals are there to help you. So there's no wrong question. Also, a lot of us on social media, such as myself, shameless plug number 2, here's my Instagram handle. Therefore, we can easily be reached. So send us a DM or follow us because all of this will help you with your networking. As you go through the program, you're going to have questions. Even now you have questions. Wouldn't it be nice to get an answer and avoid the worry and uncertainty? So I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone because success is never achieved alone, and you're going to need some friends or allies. The reality of all of this is that medical school is not so much of you sitting in a lecture and hoping that the professor gives you all the information you need to be great. To be honest, consider professional school to be the most expensive self-taught degree because you are responsible for your education to a certain extent. Medical school is the environment where you are teaching yourself with some help from your professors, to the extent that when you go into a lecture, you're learning or being exposed to an overview of information. It is up to you to figure out how you're going to digest that information. And this could be talking with a learning specialist, getting advice from an upperclassman, or even a mentor, or even watching a video like this one right here to provide you with some guidance and personal feedback. The goal is to be able to recall the information when it's time for you to take an exam, answer a conceptual question, and ultimately to provide answers to any questions your future patients may have. All right, there were 2 questions that we needed to answer. We tackled the first one about what it's like going to Naturopathic Medical School online. But we need to talk about my recommendations or tips to help you get through it. So be on the lookout for that video because we're in this together. Remember, as I say all the time, success is never achieved alone. Be sure to use the comment section below or even contact me on Instagram and Facebook with any questions you may have, or maybe you just want to say hello. As always, I leave you with 3 things. Number 1, we are amazing, powerful beings capable of great things. Number 2, always keep a neuron open, meaning that you should be open to learning new things. And number 3, best of luck to you in your naturopathic medical school journey. See you in the next episode. Adios.